The Viking raids, spanning from the 8th to the 11th centuries, represent a defining era in European history characterized by the maritime exploits of the Norse seafarers, commonly known as Vikings. These raids, marked by swift and daring attacks on coastal communities, monasteries, and trade routes, played a significant role in shaping the medieval world and establishing the Vikings as iconic figures of the age. Origins and motivations. The Vikings, hailing from the Scandinavian regions of present-day Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, were expert seafarers with advanced shipbuilding technology. Their motives for raiding were multifaceted, ranging from economic incentives to a desire for adventure and glory. Overpopulation, scarcity of resources, and the pursuit of wealth and prestige prompted the Norsemen to venture beyond their homelands. Targets of Viking raids. Viking raids targeted a wide range of locations, including coastal villages, towns, and monastic communities along the shores of Western Europe. The relatively undefended monasteries, with their wealth in precious metals and manuscripts, became prime targets for the Vikings. Lindisfarne, an island monastery off the coast of England, witnessed one of the earliest and most infamous Viking raids in 793. Marking the beginning of a new era. Viking longships and tactics. Central to the success of Viking raids were their iconic longships. These vessels, characterized by their shallow draft, allowed Vikings to navigate both open seas and shallow rivers with ease. The longship's design also facilitated surprise attacks, as they could swiftly approach and disembark raiding parties before coastal communities could mount a defense. Viking tactics involved hit-and-run raids, often catching their targets off guard. The speed and mobility of the longships allowed Vikings to strike quickly, plunder coastal settlements, and retreat before larger forces could respond. Expansion and settlement. As Viking raids continued, the Norsemen expanded their reach to areas as far-reaching as the British Isles, continental Europe, and even as distant as the Mediterranean and the Middle East. Viking settlements, known as Norse sagas, emerged in areas such as Iceland, Greenland, and, most notably, Normandy in France. The Great Heathen Army. One of the more significant phases of Viking raids occurred with the arrival of the Great Heathen Army in England in the late 8th century. Led by legendary leaders like Ivar the Boneless and Ragnar Lothbrok, the Great Heathen Army conducted large-scale invasions and played a pivotal role in shaping the political landscape of England. Decline of Viking raids. By the 11th century, Viking raids began to decline for various reasons. The Christianization of Scandinavia, internal conflicts among Viking chieftains, and the establishment of more centralized states all contributed to the gradual end of the Viking Age. Furthermore, as European nations strengthened their defenses and developed more organized navies, the opportunities for easy plunder diminished. Legacy. The Viking raids left an enduring mark on European history. The Norsemen's seafaring prowess, cultural exchanges, and impact on the regions they raided or settled are evident in historical records, archaeological findings, and even in modern place names. The Viking Age is celebrated in popular culture, romanticized in sagas, and remembered as a dynamic period of exploration, conflict, and cultural exchange that significantly influenced the medieval world.